Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Section 214 of BC Lions podcast. I'm your host, Sent, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, JS and Hamo. And but there's a bit of a change in this episode, at least in terms of when it came to us being able to watch the game for different reasons. Hamo, you went to the UBC hockey game. Uh, JS, so what happened with you? So just
I was out getting ice cream and I got
getting
home
ice
a
cream.
little later and missed the first three touchdowns, but maybe it's a good omen. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, and I only missed I only missed the first touchdown because I was watching the end of the Alouettes and Argos game because I thought that was like an important game to for us to watch, or at least us to keep an eye on. And then yeah, the Alouettes won, so that came in our favor too. So, but another thing that came in our favor today was like this incredibly out of nowhere offensive explosion that none of us expected in our wildest dreams. Pitch like the big picture is this: Calgary is the best defense in the league.
Oh, they
Bar none.
were.
They've given up the few. They were, yeah, they were, but they've given up the fewest touchdowns before this game. You know what? We're a road team. Vernon Adams Jr. is playing, and that had a good season, and Calgary's coming off a bye week as well. So and BC is also undermanned too. We found out a couple days ago that Butler wasn't going to be playing in this game. Our starting running back was down, and also Couture was out. So BC is like undermanned pretty, fairly significantly, I'd say. And then doesn't matter. 52 points to
Just
52.
24.
unbelievable. The Lions have
I find it funny.
averaged now
Oh, I just
30.7 points on the season per game on the season, according to my calculation. I think what's it now? 430 given up. That's the most out of any team in the league. They've also given up the second most points, but still just shocking
Yeah,
in a good way.
yeah, shocking in a good way. And I will come clean that before this game, I was either expecting a very tight, down to the wire game, like it was probably going to be one on a walk-off field goal, or Calgary was going to destroy us and just complete the revenge narrative for kind of start the revenge narrative to be completed for Vernon Adams, and then all the Lions fans that were just anti-work are just going to come out of the woodwork and saying like, "See, we should have kept Vernon Adams." Like, well, where's those voices now? I don't hear them.
yeah. I was
uh,
gonna say, Jacob, it's funny how you missed the first three touchdowns because they happened so quickly. The offense
yeah,
Literally.
was rolling, and this game, Rourke versus VA, Rourke proved why he's the best player in the CFL. I want to hear nothing else. He is the MOP.
he's absolutely
He
like
is.
probably a front runner for the MLP right now, just like he was in 2022. Like this was 2022 Nathan Work we're watching, and it's like it's just a treat to see. And not only that, not only was the offense like falling on all cylinders, but the defense, they did their part.
All
At
things
certain
considered a
moments
decent
where
game for them. Only gave up
yeah,
23, which is maybe a little lower for them than usual. So we're happy about
well,
that.
actually, if you actually to be even more positive, like they've been like lessening the point totals every game. They went from giving up 50 to Toronto, and then 35, and then what was the Ottawa game? I think it was
30,
24,
33, 33 or 34,
yeah,
and then
34, and then 20
38 last, or 27 last week, and then
27, yeah,
23.
23. So yeah, but yeah, the defense has been like steadily improving in terms of point totals for the other team, right? So
Good
that's good to
signs.
see a trend. Yeah. Um, yeah, I guess for a gut check, this is massive, right? And also the other results, and also the one that's pending right now, like as we speak, Winnipeg is beating uh Ottawa 17-11 right now, but
They
I've got
lose.
the
hoping I
game
can
on
Fingers
I've
crossed.
got the game on my iPad here, so I'll let you know if anything happens, but we
yeah,
would
but
love to see Ottawa win that one.
Yeah, because well, yeah, I mean, as we're recording this, like BC is in third place, and that can change after this recording. But like we wanted to get this done right now because we want to like document that they're in third place in the West right now, which
First time in a
is
while,
for some in a while, right? It's been
at
and
long last.
like 2 weeks ago, we were saying it's the season's over. We've blown a lead to Ottawa. We get destroyed by Toronto on the road, and it's like, what's next? Like, I don't know what we don't know what to expect from this team. Well, then they then they do what they do against Ottawa, and then they just like absolutely like run up and down the field on Calgary. Just yeah,
These are two
and they're
wins that'll
back to
give
five
you
hundred.
it'll give you so much confidence. And I want to mention you can find me in a sense on Tuesday at Boston Pizza in Guildford. We'll be there for first and now. And we've been talking about this because the Lions have obviously not been playing so well as of late. And in the last 2 weeks happened two huge confidence booster wins, absolute statements, and we're really happy going into that. So pretty much best case scenario after we thought the season was over. We said if they'd lose one to Ottawa, we'd be in a pretty bad shape, and they've turned it around. And something's going our way in the standings. It
Yeah,
feels good right now.
it feels really good. Yeah, again, it's just and again, we're not out of the woods yet, but we feel like significantly much better compared to 2 weeks ago when it was like the sky is falling.
I guess the moral
Yeah,
of the story is things are streaky in this league. The Lions are inconsistent, and it's that that meme with the circle. One place it says it's so over, and the next one is we are so back. That's us just going back and
That's
forth.
that's what I said too. Like,
2 weeks ago we were in
and
it's so over territory. Now we're in it's so back. So we'll have
I
to see where we go from here.
I was thinking of the meme where yeah, there's a team logo and it goes like
Yes, 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 that's the one.
yeah, one note of the line that says like I want to myself and then oh nice we won.
yeah,
Right?
I know that one.
Yep, I
But
know
we
that
but
one too.
we didn't have to feel that way. Like BC just dominated like the whole game. Like there was no reason really for us to be scared of blowing the lead. I mean, there were like times when like there was a little inkling of doubt, but I'm like,
It was basically over after the
it's
first 10 minutes.
yeah, well, pretty much. Like, yeah, no, again, normal teams should clamp it down after they go up like 3 or 4 touchdowns, right? And they did. So this time, so
Yeah, we're still going to be nervous, but the defense performed. And guys coming up with big sacks. I know Betsis has 10 sacks on the year,
yeah, it's
two
great.
interceptions
That's
early.
6 sacks in 2 games.
That's
Right? He
unreal.
just why rocketed up that leaderboard for sack leader. It's like it's been crazy. Right? Makes you wonder
What
what
are
the
these numbers?
makes you wonder like what the rest of the league is doing, like to have the sack total so stagnant until Bats
Mhm.
just goes like, oh, okay, fine, I'll do it myself, and you go 6 in 2 games. So yeah, it's exciting stuff today, and yeah, I guess one more thing about the gut check is that yeah, I mean going into our next game to Toronto, I mean like this is yeah, we're at 7-7, you know, another loss to Edmonton and hopefully Ottawa can win, and then we're like in, I'd say we're probably in like 70-75% territory of making the playoffs, maybe even
Mhm.
80. Uh,
It's big.
yeah,
I want to add one
great.
more thing myself as well. And I know you're going to get a lot of the objective analysis rather than constructive analysis because I didn't watch the game. I did watch the highlights, but this is an analogy I like to use a lot, the three thirds of the CFL season. First third of the season, we were 3-3. Second third, we were 2-4. And now we're in the final third. We started off 2-0. This is the most important third of the season. We got to ramp it up before the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think our
and
chances are going up of making it and also getting hot. This is really good.
Especially
yeah,
with three
and
games, three of the last four at home, including three in a row. We don't have another road game for almost a month, more than I think. Today's the 19th of September, and the next road game is not until the 25th of October. So
Wow.
quite
that's
literally more than a month.
yeah, it's really good. And also, you mentioned analogies, Hammer. I'm gonna pull out one that I haven't mentioned in a long time. This was a four-course meal win,
Ah.
100%, and dessert.
It was.
and
But I
dessert on
will
top
say
with
the biggest game of the season coming up is in 2 weeks against Calgary. So that would be a four-course meal if we could win that one. I
oh
love it. Four-course meal.
yeah, and yeah, I mean again, it's just we'll have to like slow our roll. We're gonna be talking about the next game in after a recap, but let's get into like the statistics about this incredible offensive output. And you guys get to do the honor of that. It's your turn. Your turn to like tell the stats. And like there was a funny thing about these offensive stats that I told you guys about, and
Mhm.
you'll get right to it. So
Jacob, I'll let you do the offense.
All right. Let's make sure got it here. All right. So Nathan Rourke, a fantastic day, 20 for 24. That's what's that? 83%, I think. 331 yards and 2 touchdowns. So like as long as those 53, that's A plus, nothing negative at all you can say about that. And he had 43 rushing yards on 6 carries and 3 touchdowns as long as it was the 26-yard rushing
that was my
touchdown in the
favorite.
first quarter. So apart from that play, his running was, good, but that one play just made it amazing and unforgettable. So like thumbs up, we can all give thumbs up,
Yes.
claps, standing ovation, any whatever praise you want to heap on them, do it because they deserve it.
And not only that, this was also they've been worked like ninth straight 300+ yard game.
And he's set
That's
the single season passing record for a Canadian, I think it is,
yeah, for a
after that
Canadian
game.
quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so
we talked
like
we talked yeah, we
just
talked about
well
it,
dang
right?
it.
Like the last game, right? So yeah.
Just
Plus Jackson.
3,000 like 3,600 yards in 14 games. So just outstanding. Moving on, Jeremiah Masoli had one short-yarded touchdown, and with running, Horvath had 12 carries for 152 yards, 70 of those coming on one play. So that bumps his average up to 13 per play and one touchdown. Pickett had one catch for 12 yards with the receivers. Keon Hatcher was targeted 8 times. He caught all of them, 147
Damn.
yards and a 33-yarder to pump that average up again.
How
McInnes had
many
five
perfect
catches.
games has
Just
he had? He's
like literally everybody is almost perfect on my stats here. McInnes had 5 catches for 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. His longest was 35. Barry Hill had 2 catches for 61 yards. His average would have been 30.5 yards, but 53 of that came on one play. And
Yep.
miraculously, no touchdowns for him.
That's why I didn't
E
put the average though.
yeah.
Um,
Eberhard had one catch for 4 yards, and
this was the
Poisson
damn.
that was the funny
had
one. With like
three
with
catches
all
for
with
19 yards.
yeah, I was gonna say like that was the funny one for Amo. Like with all the offense that was being doled out, Amo had only on just one catch, just 4 yards. I was shocked. I,
What
I
happened
I
to the
mean,
meme receiver?
yeah, it's yeah. Poisson is also the replacement Katoy as well, right? So he got like 3 catches for 19 yards, and
Oh,
uh
he's
And
shooting very
then,
well.
so that is, I think that's all the offense. Yeah. So, Hammer, if you
Yeah,
want to read the defense, then go for it.
defense, very good. Maybe we got some good things about to say for once. 2 sacks from
mhm.
Betts, both of them, for his 6 sacks in the last 2 games, which is insane. That's why we brought him back. Uh, 2 interceptions, both in the first quarter. One from Okay, might be mistaken. One from Gary Peters and one from Micah Alway. Number three picking off number three. No fumbles and one turnover on downs. And tackles, Williams with 8 tackles, Woods with 6, and Lee and Finlay with 5 tackles. It's so nice to see TJ Lee back with the Lions.
Yeah,
Um,
old racing horse like TJ Lee. I still see him on my poster in 2015 Lions, right? He's like a baby
oh,
face there, and now he's still playing, still doing good
veteran.
things.
I love
Uh,
TJ Lee.
hmm.
Sean White, 1 for 1 on field goals and 7 for 7 on extra points. 7 touchdowns for for us today. What a beauty. Um, Meyer, 4 punts, averaging 50 yards for each one, longest being 58. And Seven McGee, 5 return catches on special teams, 2 punt returns for 19 yards, and 3 kickoff returns for 84 yards. average or a total of 103 yards, averaging 28 per kickoff.
Yeah, he did.
Did he
He did
did
have
that
like
pass the eye
one
test?
kickoff. He had one kickoff where, like, if it wasn't for one tackler, he would have been gone for another touchdown. We would have
Oh.
been talking about 58 instead of 52, or 59 instead of 52, right? But uh, yeah,
I'm waiting for that to happen again. That
eh,
was so hype 2 weeks ago.
the hype and yeah, but I guess it, yeah. I mean, it might happen against Toronto. I mean, we'll see. I mean, they're kind of down in the dumps right now too. So yeah, so I'll get it started with the other side, which is like the not so good side.
Yeah,
Our
that
enemy, the
guys.
Calgary Stampeders. Yeah. So in this one, like Adams Jr. went 11 for 16 for 125 yards, no touchdowns, two INTs, and he averaged 8 per throw. His longest was 32, and he tacked on 23 rushing yards and 3 carries with no touchdowns, and the longest one was 11. So. Yeah, this was before, unfortunately, he got injured in, believe it was the second or third quarter, and then I mean I can't remember exactly when, but yeah, he got taken out for. I mean, it looked like it was a concussion for me, but then I read some post game stuff on Three Down Nation, and it said that Dave Dickinson was saying that that's more of like a rib injury, so that's ooh, that hurts.
I hope he's all right.
um,
Still love the guy.
but Yeah, but yeah, this is like ma massive loss, not just for in terms of the standing, just to keep pace with Saskatchewan, but like you lose your starting quarterback, and then of course Philip Walker came in. He went 8 for 9, 64 yards, one touchdown, and 7 average per throw. His longest was 19, and then he got injured in the game, and then we had to go down to the third string quarterback with Quinty Vaughn, who only went like one for 5 yards, right? And added a touchdown for
And a
short yardage.
touchdown.
So yeah, I had to put
Yeah,
that in there because it's just it's another unusual kind of game that involves the Lions, where it's just
yeah.
for the Montreal game, we played with their fourth string. Well, it was their third string and Caleb Evans, and then he got injured, and then James Morgan came in the fourth stringer, right? So in this one, we had like three stringers in this game, right? So
That
uh,
is so cursed.
cursed for other teams' quarterback injuries. So
Yeah.
oh my goodness. And then yeah, Mills, I'd say probably had the best game in terms of the offense for Calgary, which isn't like saying much because he got 15 carries for 72 yards and 5 with an average, and his longest one was 11. And he tacked on 8 catches on 8 targets for 51 yards, averaging 6, and his longest was 14.
That's
So
still
yeah, he
pretty
was
good.
dangerous. I think there was even one drive where he pretty much like hard carried Calgary's offense for the most part, right? And that was like, oh God, are we gonna have another Brady Oliveira situation on our hand? He's just gonna like destroy us completely. But no. Thankfully the second half like locked him down after that. And yeah, and then of course Ludovic Chaquette, which I like that name a lot. Ludovic, that's quite a German name.
Ludovic. I love it as
uh,
well.
yeah. 6 carries for 33 yards, 6 on average, and as long as it's 13. And he also, tacked on with some special team stuff, but I'll get to that in a bit. Receivers, Kevin Jones, he only had 4 catches on 6 targets for 57 yards and one touchdown, and his longest catch was 32. Clark Barnes, 2 for 2 for 29, and his longest was 18. Philpott, like one of the premier receivers for Calgary, only 3 for 22, and his longest was 18. And then Dominic Rhymes only had 1 catch on
Dominic
3 targets for
Rhymes.
19 yards.
What?
Brooks, well, Brooks is the special teams guy too, but yeah, 2 catches on 4 targets for 16 yards. I mean, like, yeah, it was just BC's defense secondary like really locked down like the most important Calgary receivers, right? But I mean, like, yeah, like Philpott was returning to this game from an injury, right? And yeah, it kind of showed. Uh, yeah, and then this is also incredible. The defense for Calgary, zeros across the board. No sacks,
Wow.
no interceptions, no fumbles, no on downs, nothing.
Call that a no-hitter. We were untouchable.
and no hitter. Yeah. And again, like the O-line, like, they pretty much made Wood do his thing, right? And didn't uh, didn't get touched. Didn't really get touched once. It was incredible. And yeah, again, Moncrief only had 5 tackles, and the rest of the team had like less than 4, and then put in parentheses so many zeros on the defense. uh, yeah, I look at that and I go, that is a beautiful piece of artwork right there. Uh, and yeah, so for special teams, Paredes went 3 for 3 for field goals. So he had like 1/3 of Calgary's point totals in this game alone. He had 10 points. So yeah, because they also went for one in the extra point. But yeah,
It's not
at
usually
Calgary,
ideal.
yeah. Vassett went at 4 punts, averaging 57 yards, and his longest punt was like, I had to put this in here, 69 yards. Nice.
Nice.
uh, yeah. And it's kind of funny that, with all this offense, yeah, of course there's like low amount of punt totals, but the longest one being 69, it's still like that's big. I, I don't usually see any punt that's like 65 or bigger, but anyways, yeah, Brooks for kick return stats, he had 9 return catches on special teams, so 2 punt returns for 20 and 7 kickoffs for 192 yards.
That's a
So
lot of kickoffs.
a lot of kickoffs. So you know that again, those 192 yards is kind of just like misleading because BC was scoring all the time. So yeah, you totaled 212 yards on special teams, and the average like 27 for kickoffs, and his longest was 41, and his longest punt return was just 6 yards. So kind of like a marginally better game than Devin McGee, but again, that's just special teams like really didn't matter too much in the game. Just no matter where you place the Lions offense, like they were gonna score. That's what it felt like. Um, yeah, and then I'll add that Philpott also went 2 punt returns for 20 yards, and then Circuit had like the kickoff return for 22. So it's like 3 different players on Calgary
Don't
doing
see that very
return
often.
duties. Yeah, that doesn't really happen much either, but and yeah, and then finally penalties. This is like a little bit of a sore spot for me because BC had 11 penalties for 150 yards. A lot of those were like just un
A lot of those, there was a big pass interference call that made up a lot of that.
that was, yeah,
So it's a
pass
little bit
interference, and
misleading.
yeah, and also a horse collar tackle. But today alone, you can actually grab the name. Well, you grab the nameplate of a person's jersey, you get called for horse collar too. So
I don't know if you're supposed to or if that was just a missed phantom call, but either way, unfortunate. But yeah.
yeah, so once again, BC won the penalty. Well, they lost the penalty battle, but won the game. uh, yeah, Calgary also. I mean, like you said off the top, Calgary had their fair share of penalty troubles too. They went 9 for 103. So yeah, it's just slightly more penalty yardage and amount of penalties, but yeah, it's just something that we need to get better at. Right? They can't think that Calgary is gonna like give up 50 plus points again in the next game, like because gotta cut down on those penalties more, right? Um, and then yeah, time of possession, like Calgary only had a slight edge there. They only had 30 minutes and 37 seconds, and BC at 29 minutes and 23 seconds. So yeah, that meant that
It's
BC
crazy for the
was,
difference of points.
yeah,
Just how efficient we were with the ball yesterday, just making things. The kind of a metaphor I wanted to use, I remember back in the day I used to play Madden football a lot on my Wii and then my PlayStation. It
yep.
felt like yesterday
Felt like
that somebody went in and turned the difficulty setting on Calgary down a
a
level.
rookie mode, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah, that's what it felt like because the Lions just all of a sudden, completely out of the blue, had little trouble, little trouble knifing through their defense. So I would say overall, the Lions showed up to play, and Calgary also had a stinker at the same time. So that's what leads to the score being the way it was. But hey, you know what? Once in a while, you got to take advantage of the fact the other team's not going to be prepared. So, and the Lions did that, so that's good.
They did that. Yeah, they pretty much like doled out what we were dished only 3 weeks ago. Right? uh,
Exactly.
yeah, that was. Yeah, we went from like that game was an embarrassment to this game was an embarrassment for the other team for once, right? And this time we I mean, if we did this in the Bo Levi Mitchell era, like I would have been like even more ecstatic, right? But considering how often he owned us, but yeah, this was yeah. The
Great.
announcers and everybody was like hyping this up to be like Vernon Adams' revenge game, and it just never came to be. Right? It was just work continuing to prove that it was the right decision. Like this kind of reminds me of when the Montreal Canadiens after their 2010, run to the Eastern Conference Final, they were choosing between like Halak and Price, Carey Price,
Oh, yeah.
and everybody the Habs fans hated that the management went with Carey Price, and but my dad was one of the believers in Carey Price, right, and he was proven right.
Proved to be the
So
right decision.
I was proven right that I was saying like give Work a full training camp and he will be like absolutely an MOP caliber player, and boom, there it is. Like
Yeah.
I'm
No,
dropping my mic there.
the friend that I went to the SFU hockey game with yesterday, UBC SFU, he was talking about it. He was like, "Yeah, last year, the end of the season, work was so bad, and like I can't believe he turned it around like this." And I'm like, "Well, he's always had the talent. He just needed the training camp, and um, clearly he's unlocked his full potential."
I
Yeah,
would say
and
so.
yeah, and again, like I'm hearing crickets from the work doubters in this one, right? At least in terms of
There were quite a few.
yeah, there are quite a few, and they wanted to keep Vernon Adams over Work, and you know, it was just that we had like a 1A kind of 1A, 1B situation in terms of quarterbacking skill. It was just, you know, kind of like a bevy of witches at the quarterback position for BC for the longest time, right? At least for the most part. Anyways, yeah, so I guess we can get into the recap. We're good on time so far. What's the Winnipeg game at now?
It's
Uh,
23-11 for Winnipeg with about 4 minutes to go. Ottawa just
Oh,
turned the ball over on downs in the
oh
Winnipeg red
it's
zone.
over.
That's why I
It's
haven't
no,
said
over.
it. That's why I haven't said anything because it's just kind of depressing. That's
no,
why I
no, we're
pay
gonna
$250 a year for my TSN subscription to be heartbroken like this.
no, no, no. We're
Not like
probably
this.
not gonna we're probably not gonna end the episode in time. Like, as soon as the episode ends, we're back in fourth place.
Damn
Probably. Well, then at
it.
least we'll be able to tell our listeners where we really are. So there you go.
Uh, okay, let's get let's go back to the happy times today because for one thing, for the game recap, I mean I do also want to mention that hey, the indigenous logos are back for
Ah,
Truth and
yeah.
Reconciliation Day coming up, right?
That's
In
good.
My
10
favorite
Yes.
logo.
days.
Important work. So
Um,
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
yeah, that's my favorite. Like I wish they would go to that full time, right?
I agree. I really,
That's
really like the logo. It's one of my favorite shirts to wear around the house.
yeah, and yeah, I just want to mention like big ups to the league for employing indigenous logo representation again.
Absolutely.
Uh, and yeah, but like I did miss BC's first touchdown drive. I barely saw like I saw the kickoff, but that was pretty much it. I went back to the watching the Argos lose to the Alouettes, and yeah, so when I returned to the game, I saw that BC was up like 7-0, so that was like a work rushing touchdown of the first of them. So got up 7-0 with 9:14 to go in the first. Work is also, yeah, now the highest producing Canadian quarterback in the season. So yeah, he passed Russ Jackson, 1969. So that's I even watched like his post game interview. He the interviewer was telling him that, hey, like you passed Russ Jackson. He said, like, oh man, it's an honor. It's an honor to be, in his just be around his name like that, right? Just yeah. He was super humble about it and said, like, quite definitely credited the many teams he's been on to help him get to that point, right? But yeah, so just that's a big moment for work, and then but the next big moment was for the defense because after Calgary got the ball, Alway picked off Adams as second down to get the Calgary 13 because there was also a 15-yard penalty that was tacked on to Calgary because they had like an illegal block after the interception, right? So they were in business instantly, and BC like quickly added on to the score of like a Pickett conversion catch, and then a solely short yardage play to go up like 14-0, right? And I was going, okay, great start, and got to keep it going, right? uh, yeah, and then Brooks returned the kick after the Calgary 37. Adams dropped the ball on the snap on second down. Like, he's there was a snap, but he dropped it, and then it kind of like fell to the ground and he got sacked and went, oh my God, Calgary's playing like doo-doo today, yeah? Or Gibbs.
Thank you,
Just,
Betts.
yeah, sacked for 2-0. And yeah, this was the punt that McGee nearly took it to the house on the punt return, but he gets like tackled at midfield with like the last man standing on Calgary's defense,
Brutal.
right? It was like, oh man, if you guys saw that, you would have been just so,
Yeah.
oh.
Can imagine.
Imagine, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, still pretty good field position. But Dickinson did challenge that. Well, even if it was like a punt return touchdown, it would have been called back anyways because Dickinson did challenge the spot of the ball, and he was out of bounds, like 20 yards backfield. So BC instead takes it at the 31. And on this drive, yeah, Barry Hill made like an amazing one-handed catch on a deep shot from work to get to the 26. Right, so that was just, I think it was the second play of the drive that did that, and it was yeah, just another amazing one-handed catch from the Lions this time on offense, and then yeah, and then followed up with like another highlight reel play by Work because he ran it in from 26 yards, dodging 5 tacklers. And the Lions just explode on offense to go up 21-0. I was going crazy in the group chat, like I was just. I imagine the message count must have been like pretty high when you next checked it. I didn't know if it was
It
at
was
10.
high because the 21 points happened so quickly. And also, like everywhere I looked on the internet, I was seeing that clip of Work passing all those tacklers. It was crazy to watch.
Yeah, yeah. You
He's
posted
really
that
dynamic.
Twitter video, and yeah, I had to watch that over and over at halftime. Right, I did that at halftime, so like, oh man, that was great. But then yeah, then when they get flagged on a late hit out of bounds on the kickoff return for Calgary to help Calgary start at the 51-yard line. Mills, yeah, this was the drive where Mills, like, pretty much puts the team on his back. He converts a bunch of plays on runs and passes, and it all ends up in Calgary being in like the red zone uh, by the time the second quarter starts. And then on second down, this was a funny thing. There could have been 3 interceptions in this game, but on second down, like the ball hit the uprights on the top edge of the yellow pole instead of usually, and it's like the bottom edge, but it clipped the top edge, so it immediately became a dead ball. So no
That's
interception.
unfortunate.
Hey, you
Fun
saw
fact,
that, didn't you?
I've always had this idea that they should make it a live ball if it hits the upright. Just treat it like it's been deflected. I think that would be kind of fun. But
Oh boy, that would be interesting for safeties and stuff like that. Wait a minute.
it would be because the current rule is if like you snap it on your if it hits your own goalpost, then it's a safety. But if it hits the opponent's, then it's a dead ball. So
Yeah,
Learned
but
something. I didn't
yeah,
realize if you
but
hit your own goalpost, it was safety.
well, that's probably because it's never happened.
Yeah, I
yeah,
would never think that would.
yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those like weird rules of the CFL that you just don't really think about until it happens, right? So yeah, but yeah, could have been 3 interceptions, but dead ball. off the uprights, and yeah, Paradis basically comes out and boots the easy field goal to shorten the lead to 21-3. But on BC's next drive, Horvath converts on an 11-yard run up the middle. Then there's an offsetting penalty that happened that would repeat BC's first down attempt after a 7-yard pass. Mazzoli gets stuck. I thought Mazzoli got stopped short on third down, and we're like, oh boy, yeah, here we go. But thankfully, like this was like a major penalty for Calgary to take. That we're like, yes, finally it's happening to someone else, because there was a face mask penalty on that third down turnover, right? So instead of us giving the ball to Calgary, we get the ball and we go up 15 yards because of that. So that was huge. And BC made them pay, because then McInnes like catches over the middle and he waltzes in and behind the secondary for like a 35-yard touchdown to extend the lead to Falcons fans. You might want to mute me when I say this. 28-3.
28-3.
Yeah. 28-3. And I even mentioned that and went like, uh-oh, the coach score. We've seen many curse scores in the Lions games before, but yeah, this is like even more curse. Like, uh-oh. I even said that in the moment in the group chat where I was like, yeah, we're up 28-3. Oh no, we're up 28-3.
The realization.
uh yeah, that was funny too. But yeah, still outside of that Falcons context, like being up 28-3 after nearly giving the ball away, it's like that was a massive backbreaker, right? At that point, I was still like in a realm of doubt, right? But I'm pretty sure I was at like, okay, 80-90% chance for BC to win this one, right?
I felt good at that point, but given the number of BC Lions blown leads and Vancouver Canucks and Whitecaps and everything else I've witnessed, I'm too negative. I don't celebrate a win until the clock hits zero. But there was an exception today. I think it was most of the fourth quarter I didn't watch because I was pretty confident the Lions
Yeah,
would
pretty
win.
confident we would have that. Yeah, and also, can I just say, like, what's in the water in Falls Creek right now lately? Because the Whitecaps, they had that blowout win, like 7-0 against the Philadelphia Union. I believe it
I
was
want
last
to
week, right?
say, I don't cut through the game recap, but I was at that game, obviously wearing my jersey during that episode. That might have been top two sports event I've ever been to. That was just crazy. BC Place is insane when the Whitecaps are playing. Such a good
This is
atmosphere.
this is why we need home field advantage and for the Lions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to reward those fans that have been like sticking through like a really roller coaster topsy-turvy season, right? Including us.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
But yeah, again, something's in the water in Falls Creek that's making BC teams just go haywire, go crazy,
Just
and
hope it
score
comes up
many
to
points.
Rogers Arena throughout the hockey season. We can only hope and pray.
Yeah. So yeah, 28-3, and then Brooks returns the kick after the 38. Calgary allows four. The broadcast mentioned it. Calgary allowed 4 passing touchdowns, and because they were the league's best passing team, it went from 18 to 22. Right.
Oh God.
Again, just adds to the unusual, crabbing the bed that Calgary did on defense. But yeah, yeah, Calgary converted on third and inches, despite me thinking it was short, and then Adams only managed just 2 yards on a watch on second down to force him to punt. Bassett punched the ball out of bounds at the 6, and then McInnes converts on a catch and one for 14. Work nearly gets intercepted on 2nd and 5 on a deflected pass, but it falls incomplete. So there was a couple of moments where, the clean slate on the A plus game could have just been an A game instead. But yeah, so forced BC to punt, and then I do not like it when the commentary says Adams wants to. I'm paraphrasing here, but it feels like Marshall Ferguson said he wants Adams to have like the epic comeback against his former team, right? I mean,
Why
I
don't
get
the
it.
Or
broadcasters keep advocating for big comebacks against the Lions? First it was the comeback and then this. Why? Why do they keep doing that?
it's infuriating.
Maybe
The
the
same,
Lions blowing leads is good for their bottom line. I don't know.
yeah,
Because
it's the
they
same.
keep advocating for it. It's kind of annoying to watch.
It's annoying to hear, right? And I'm like,
Literally.
I even went into well, yeah, Sunscore, and I said like I understand why you don't like this commentator, because he's always like trying to manifest comebacks every time, right? And
It's so frustrating to
it
watch.
usually happens to our team, right? So it's like, oh, shut up. I just I was
It's
screaming
a
like,
charitable
shut
way to
up.
put it.
But yeah, so after that, annoying, thing, Adams gunned it deep to Jones for the conversion to get to the BC 42. And then, yeah, he bats just like all over Adams. And he, like, well, first he batted a pass attempt and then he sacked him for a loss. So, like, that was like a two for there, right? And lost 8 and forced Calgary to punt. But yeah, then the Lions like give up a roosh to lessen the lead to 28-4. So, yay, Canucks 28, Flames 4. I hope. Yeah, so then Bats does it. Oh, yeah, yeah. The camera was on Bats like after a second. He did like the trademark, like a 1,000 yard kind of stare for 10 seconds, like this. I like that too. It's uh yeah. So on BC's next drive, Persant converts on a short pass from second down for 6 yards. BC is called for time count violation on first down to force a loss of down. So another thing I didn't realize that you could lose a down after a time count violation within 3 minutes. So that was that was a little bit of a downer, but then yeah, Aberhard only managed like 5 yards on the second down catch to force BC to punt. With a minute and 18 left, Philpott manages only a few yards on the punt return to get to the 26. Adams runs and converts for 11 yards on first down, and then Peters. This was a big, could have been a big moment too. Like there could have been 4 interceptions, and one of them could have been a pick six because Peters nearly does that on a bad first down pass. Like it was nowhere except BC Lions defenders, right? Like what were you doing, Vernon? But yeah, I thought like in the moment I thought like, oh god, that's gonna screw us. And yes, on cue. Barnes converts on second down for 20 yards, and then he throws the Barnes again on second down for 14. And then just, kept getting closer just to make the easy field goal to make it 28-7 at the first half end. But it was like I called it a fake touchdown because it was only 2 field goals and a rouge that made up like a fake touchdown, right?
That's the most Canadian way
God,
you can get a fake touchdown.
Yep.
my friend was confused with that.
Yeah. And I had to put like the halftime stats here because like I thought this was big too. And like it was one screen cap, but I put like passing at that point at halftime like 193 to 111. This is net offense 252 to 160 for BC. Um, yeah, yeah. The penalties. Well, at that point, Calgary had more penalties at 5-4 to 40, and then yeah, red zone was the difference. 2 for 2 for BC, and yeah, 0 for 1. Yeah, I uh,
And
I
the
saw
penalties
that
basically
one.
only had 4 penalties in the first half, so that's pretty good. But then 7 in the second half, almost doubled it. So
Double that, but it was a garbage time. So like I can give a mulligan on that one a little bit, right? But
yeah, ultimately, definitely.
but don't do that again.
No,
uh,
exactly.
so yeah, after the halftime, I'm feeling good. Like okay, 28-7. Like okay, they got pretty close here, but as long as they keep kicking field goals, it's fine. It's fine, right? So third quarter, Calgary does receive the kickoff because BC received the opening kickoff in the first half. So Hugh Brooks returns the opening second half kickoff to the 49, like the BC 49 to get immediate field position. And then I'm on alert there. I'm going, uh-oh. And then
Yeah.
Adams throws to Jones to gain 14 yards to convert immediately to get in the field goal range too. So I'm like, oh no. It was going to be like the start of the second half defense that I hate from Benavides right there. Um, Adams runs and converts for 8 yards, and after that one, he slid and then he got hurt after being hit. And yeah, you got. I thought it was a concussion, but yeah, again later on it was revealed to be like more of a rib injury. But yeah, it was also Yeah, it just didn't look good either way, and he had to be knocked out by the concussion spotter anyways. And yeah, that was pretty much like if you want to say like that was like the moment where BC Calgary lost that game, it was this one, right, where Adams gets hurt, right? Any chance of a comeback was like very likely, pretty much snuffed out by that point. And yeah, so PJ Walker slots into the game. Brooks gets horse collar tackle by Awe to go from a loss of 3 to a gain of 15 because of the nameplate grab, which I didn't know until now.
Nameplate grab.
Yeah. And then Vaughn runs it in on short yardage on third down to shorten the BC lead to 28 to 14. So I'm going, oh no. It's a bit of a nervous moment right now. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
gotta keep scoring here, like, because we can't allow a backup quarter, like we cannot allow the Nick Arbuckle moment in 2018 to happen again, right? Where a guy just comes in and goes hero on us, right, and wins. uh, so yeah, nervous moment there, but yeah, McGee returns the kickoff to the 25. Hatcher, uh, yeah, Hatcher like digs the ball up from the ground and converts it for 25 yards, and Dave Dickinson could have challenged that for an incomplete pass, and it might have been like an incomplete pass, right? But BC was moving fast enough; they got the playoff, right? So that challenge
That's
wasn't.
smart coaching. If you think you could lose the
Yep.
challenge, just run the next play because then it's too late.
Yeah,
So
they
well done.
they did that. Yeah, well done to Buck Pierce, and they did that. I'm like, okay, no challenge, good. But then the football god decided, we're gonna balance that out with like a holding call on first down, and uh, because yeah, Horvath had a conversion, but then yeah, Holding backed him up 10 yards. But then Hatcher converts on a second down with a catch in the slot for 18 yards, and then again for 10 yards, and another short yardage run, and then Hatcher does it again for 20 yards. So this was like the Hatcher drive right here, right? And at that point in the game, Adams was confirmed to be out for the game for the rest of the game, so I had to put that in there. But then you know, BC eventually gets to like, first and goal at the one, and then yeah, work runs to like the extreme left side of the field to wait out the defense to extend the lead to 35 to 14. And of course there was like a misconduct foul after that, right? That helps out BC as well. But yeah, that was the moment where like, okay, I can breathe. Okay. Both of us can breathe. Um Yeah, and then at that point also worked past like Doug Flutie for eighth all time and QB passing yards. So it's like, oh boy, just a double kind of milestone game for him today, and then yesterday, and then yeah. So then I put like yeah, Calgary returns to kick out to the 35. Walker avoids being sacked and gets away to the pass to make the play result in no gain, and then yeah, Calgary turned the ball over and so down. Mills
Yeah.
like didn't get it. Like it was third and two. Like it's really hard to get a third down conversion when it's like more than a yard usually. So yeah, thankfully that happened. And then yeah, Hatcher converts on a right side catch for 15 yards on second down to make Rook go into a ninth 300+ yard passing game. Then an illegal block penalty prevented the McKinnis touchdown on fourth goal. So that was like a slight moment of frustration. But yeah, then thankfully, BC's offense was like, they just weren't stopping. Even even with like a negated touchdown, it was still like a field goal for Sean White to go up 38 to 14. And then on the final play of the quarter, Mills runs for 5 yards to get to the center field, and then yeah, fourth quarter, it's a very short paragraph because I'm gonna read this verbatim. I'm gonna go, step by step with you guys. You can chime in whenever you want, but
Mm.
yeah, I said I feel like I'm safe to stop taking detailed notes at this point of the game with a 3 possession lead because yeah,
Valid.
yeah,
Yeah,
Calgary scores another like penalty aided TD. I hate those still. Like I don't like those when it happens against us,
as
right?
most of BC's penalty yards with that one 50 something yard pass interference penalty, which I thought was the correct call. I don't BC challenged it.
Yeah,
In a
yeah,
closer
yeah,
game, I would have been pretty livid about them challenging something like that. But in a game where they won by 29 points, I think it was, I don't really care. How about that?
Yeah, but again, just we're still I'm still in that paranoia mode of like crazier shit crazier stuff happened, right? Like and but yeah, 38-20 for BC, but 2-point conversion was no good. That was an important kind of thing that happened too. Like, no 2-point conversion happening, so it was still a 3 possession game. And then yeah, McInnes basically made Marcel Ferguson shut up about the comeback talk because he got like his revenge TD after it was negated for a penalty, right? But he got his revenge TD on second down to go to 45-20. Walker injured his arm on a deep throw out of bounds, incomplete. So that brought out the
And
third stringer, right? You
game's
gonna
already
say
over at
something?
this point.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good idea to do second and third stringers at this point. Although Wook did stay in the game for a little more, but that was because that was a little bit of a point of criticism. Like, why would you keep your quarterback in when you're beating up on them this bad? But yeah, Calgary pretty much was like waving the white flag to send Paredes to kick another field goal to go to 45-23. And this is like the last amazing play for BC where Horvath, the backup running back, that looks like a fullback. He ran it for like 70 yards to get the 50 burger for BC to
50 burger.
finally 50 burger. Yeah, I love those. Um, and then yeah, BC got like another turnover and down, but then they like punted to Calgary for them to like 1 out to work the clock. And then the Lions, they not only improved their playoff odds and keep the hopes of hosting the Western semifinal alive by demolishing Calgary 52-23. Like they go to 500, they're at 7-7. And at the moment they were they jumped over Winnipeg in the third place. But as we know, Winnipeg probably won. So we're back in fourth
Game is
place
over.
anyways.
But
Yeah,
anyways, what a statement victory from us. Absolute statement. That's the
100%,
biggest word I can say.
100%. That's why the title of this episode is stamped, sealed, and delivered. Because like we said, the method
Seal the
to
deal.
the West. Yeah, we finally beat like a quality, West team that's not. Yeah, we finally beat a quality West team, right? Because we're losing to Winnipeg, we're losing to Saskatchewan, right? And coming into Calgary, we had like a low spirits, even after beating Ottawa, right? Like we were going like, oh man, I don't know about this one, but thankfully this was like the message sent from BC, like we're back, baby, we're so
We are.
back. Yeah,
We're
We're so
also
back.
back. We're also back in fourth in the West now. Ottawa had
yeah,
a really strong last drive. They scored a touchdown, but they also managed to flush all their remaining time away, so they lost 26-18 to the Bombers.
yeah. So once again, the Blue Bombers are a thorn on our side, right? uh, again, can't really rely on other teams to help us out too much, right? But yeah, so I think although the good thing about Winnipeg winning is that does make sure that Ottawa is actually it's probably done, right? They're falling out of it, and so we only have to really worry about Toronto, Edmonton, and Winnipeg at this point, right? uh, I'd say gonna say something crazy for Ottawa to get back into it. But yeah, that this was a game that Ottawa needed to have and you know have any shot, and they didn't do it. So yeah, they
And we
were
needed Ottawa to have it too.
yeah we selfishly yes, but yeah, we went from like cheering against Ottawa to cheering for them, and yeah, so one and
State of the
two, I
league.
guess, right? So yeah, so yeah, unfortunately, we're back in fourth place in the West, but we're still feeling like really good about our chances of playoffs, at least at this point of the season now. Right? We've got 2 wins under our belt. Other teams have been losing games more often, right? So I think if we keep this up next week, I think we should be gravy, right?
Yes, we
I
should.
hope
And
I think
so.
a lot of things have been evening out in the league, but we got to take our chances. I think it's in our own hands now, especially with
and
that game coming up against Calgary. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and of course, well, today we're going to be keeping an eye on Edmonton and Hamilton, so we'll be rooting, be rooting for another Ontario team today for Hamilton, right?
Hmm.
So keep Edmonton down, right,
As long as
below
it's not
us.
Toronto, we can root for whoever we want. Just won't cheer for Toronto. You know,
Yeah, well,
don't like the
yeah,
center of the universe rhetoric, but anyway.
yeah, yeah, you know how I feel about Toronto sports, but oh yeah, also, yeah, yeah, yesterday was also
Oh no,
doubly good for me because yeah, the
I know
Orioles
what you're gonna say.
won, and the Jays lost 20-1, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not wearing my Jays hat right now. That was an embarrassing loss yesterday. It's over
at
after
least
one inning.
at least both of us can, both of us are reminded that we hate Kansas City, the city,
Yeah,
right? Not just our
I'm a
football
Jays
team, but
fan,
the
but I hate the
Royals,
city of
right?
Toronto.
So the Royals have been the bane of our both of our favorite teams' existence for
They have
years,
been.
right?
Screw
So
Kansas City Royals and the Chiefs. Hate to
and the
mention that.
scouts back in the 70s, right?
Yep, sure.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, huge monumental win for us today. I mean, like, we're gonna save it like pretty much every week until the end of the season, right? Because it's pretty much we're at that point in the season where like every game matters again. So this was huge to bump up our playoff chances. And so yeah, so just gonna quickly preview some other games. So yeah, we mentioned that yes, Edmonton is gonna be playing Hamilton in about an hour's time from now. So yeah, go
I think
Tie
that
Cats,
should be.
go Cat Brothers. Yep.
I think Cat
Uh
should have that one.
I think so too. But Tie Cats should be doing, their best to like solidify first place in the East at least, right? And yeah. So they've got something to play for. So, we do think that they should be able to beat them now. But yeah. And then next week on the Friday, so let's say there's once again there's the 2 Friday, 2 Saturday setup, but we're only going to be doing yeah, so like Stampeders and Alouettes. So yeah, we're gonna need the Alouettes to win that one too. So
Yeah.
just to keep our home field
Ethel Thompson's
advantage
back, who happened to throw three interceptions yesterday.
and still win. Uh,
Yep,
I was
and still
I
won.
was I was screaming at him, going like, "Make a belt! What are you doing?" Right?
Belt.
Just make a BLT.
But who knows what's Calgary's quarterback situation going to look by Friday. So could be
Yeah,
a real
yeah.
interesting game.
Could be an interesting game. Could be like a low scoring event, or it could be like back and forth all over the place. Who knows? Let's just hope Montreal wins that one, right? Just we'll take any help we can get at this point, right? And then yeah, so yeah, the Argos and Lions game that's going to be at 7 o'clock. So that's going to be another afternoon recording for us because we're recording this in the afternoon today. So
I like the
yeah,
late Friday games though. Good chance to come home. Long week of work and school for all of us, then we can kind of relax and then head out for the rest of the weekend. So I like that time slot for the Friday night games. I will not lie.
yeah. So again, you're probably gonna it's gonna be another you know episode next week where we're gonna be doing the episode in the middle of a Blue Bombers game probably. Might be another afternoon recording, right? But yeah, deja vu, right?
Literally.
I hope so because beat the Argos by the same score. Like, hey, so yeah, then yeah, Ticats and Blue Bombers. That's gonna be just gonna be like uh, that's again go and another go Ticats thing. But I think the Blue Bombers are probably gonna be annoying to us again. Like they're gonna if BC beats Toronto, they're gonna see us win and we're like, okay, we gotta they just gotta keep doing it, right? Then
Oh
yeah,
no, yeah.
Rough Riders and Elks. I'm not. I know the Rough Riders have clinched playoff spot, but they still have something to play for, right? I mean, they've seen Calgary lose yesterday, and pretty much they're going to be like, okay, we can clinch first place in the West pretty quickly, right?
Their magic
So
number for first in the West is four. So four Saskatchewan wins / Calgary losses will get them there. pretty
Yep.
smooth
So,
sailing, I think.
well, yeah. So we're hoping that Saskatchewan gets first place in the West quickly, so that when it comes to our game coming up, they then rest those starters, and then we can,
Yes.
if we need to win that game, it'll be better circumstances for us, right? But yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the episode today. Like, yeah, this was like again, sun shining outside. Everything's
Great
happy
day.
this weekend, and I'm loving it. And
Beautiful.
yep. Until tonight, well, yeah, tonight's gonna be raining, but yeah, just enjoy the sun while we can, and then yeah. Uh, so yeah, I guess we'll end it here. But you can reach us on our socials in the description. So we've got our Twitter account, we've got our Instagram, we've got Blue Sky account, all down there, and then of course you can reach us through long form email at our Gmail account. So you can email us at section214@gmail.com. That's SECTIONTWOFOURTEN. As always, like and subscribe, and also, I'll be seeing you, Hammer, at Guildford, Boston
On
Pizza on
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So I hope that whoever's watching, if you're around in the area, like come see us on Tuesday night. Right, it'll be fun.
Yep,
Your
looking
birthday
forward to
gift
meeting
too.
other.
So
Yeah, I know. The first one for me. One of several for you, but I'm very excited and looking forward to meeting other Lions fans and maybe players. So we'll see.
yeah, I'll be pretty recognizable. I'll probably be wearing the same shirt then when we go there. But
I'll wear I'll wear
yeah.
orange.
Okay, so yeah, that's it for us today. So we'll see you next Saturday. Bye
See
bye.
Bye,
ya.
folks.